What's up, you guys? It's your boy Nate here, and today we're going to be talking about investing. Now, before you click off the video, don't click off the video. It's going to be a different type of one. We're in the new year. It's a brand new start for all of us. It's 2021. What better way than to celebrate 2021? Talk about the top best investments you can make in 2021. Yes, I know it'll be another investing video, but hey, stick with me here for 1 second. Now, I know what a lot of people might be thinking is, why should I be investing? We not doing nothing right now. Stores are closed. Malls are kind of closed. I can online shop. Why do I need to invest? I'm not going anywhere. And that's it. My thing is, people that are working who are on unemployment, that's not gonna be around forever. You're not gonna wanna work forever unless you're in politics and don't wanna give up power. But investing can provide another source of income for you. Just imagine you having another stream of income on top of your salary, or you have 6 streams of income and you need that 7th. Investing is definitely a way to do it. With investing, you could definitely fund your own retirement and become a multimillionaire when you're ready to stop working. Or if you're in some type of financial jam like I've been in, having that money that's sitting in your investments can definitely help out, whether it be in stocks, real estate, commercial real estate, investing in yourself or a higher paying job, you name it. Now, I would say investing is very important because it essentially just grows your wealth. With investing, you can very much increase your financial goals. Not only that, but increasing your purchasing power. A lot of people want that just to buy things. We love to buy things. We love even the anticipation of buying something. My thing is, I never wanted to work for the rest of my life. But however, just because I don't want to work doesn't mean I can't put my money to work. That's essentially what investing is. If you don't want to work a job, get your money a job. That's essentially what investing is. Your money goes to work for you. Now, of course, investing can build wealth, but it can also bring a lot of financial gain. Just to make something short, I'm going to be discussing the top best investments that you yourself can make this year. Now, all I ask is that you guys smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It will help out my channel very much so. And with that being said, let's get to the video right now. Now, one of the best investments that we can start off with for number 1 is a high yield savings account. It's just like a savings account, except it's a lot more high yield. It actually pays you just by leaving your money in there. Now, not many banks really offer higher yield savings like some banks do. Like I know with one of my banks, Ally Bank, they offer a good, nice, high-paying interest rate. What other banks would you know that will actually pay you just for leaving your money in there? Not a lot. You definitely want to invest and put your money into a bank account where it actually pays you. You're the customer. You're putting your money in their bank. You should be rewarded for it. You should also be getting paid for it. There's a lot of banks that offer high yield savings opportunities once you bank with them. Now, I'm not saying this is a high yield checking account. Savings and checking, of course, are 2 different things. High yield savings account, you're not looking to spend that money right away. You're looking to actually save it for some long-term gains. Now, the good thing about high yield savings accounts is that these are FDIC insured. So necessarily, you won't have to worry about losing any type of money if you put in your deposit. And I will ultimately say that high yield savings accounts are very good investments. Now, just like anything when it comes to investing, you have to look at inflation. And sure, you have the risk of running through inflation when it comes to high yield savings accounts. Like a lot of banks actually had very high yield paying savings accounts right before the illness happened. But just like everything else, the market goes up and down, economics goes up and down. So eventually, I would not be surprised if you see any type of high yield savings accounts goes up in value over time. Good thing about these high yield savings accounts is that they're very liquid as well. Liquid assets. And of course, you get to add or remove any type of the money at any given time. Now, depending on the regulations of the bank, like saying you can only withdraw a certain amount per month, normally that's not necessarily the case. Plus, it's a savings account, so it's not a bad thing. You shouldn't be trying to take out money often anyways. It's really trying to get you to save money, and the more you save money, the more you put in it, the more bank will reward you per percentage. But that's on necessarily the bank's discretion to do so. But just like high yield savings accounts, another type of good investment that's similar to that is number 2 on this list, and that are CDs. And for those who don't know what CDs are, they're certificates of deposit. CDs for short. And normally CDs are really much issued by the banks, and in fact offers a higher interest rate payout than some banks. These are technically considered time deposits, which of course are different from the savings accounts that I mentioned earlier. The difference is that you cannot withdraw any type of money with them without having to pay a penalty. Now, good thing is with the CD, the financial institution will definitely pay you interest on regular intervals. Now, once it matures, eventually, you'll get back all the money you put in, plus any interest that it occurs. Now, to look for the best rates, I would highly suggest looking online to see which financial institutions actually pay the best rates for CDs. Now, CDs normally are a little bit more safer and offer a lot bigger payouts. And I do know a lot of good retirees that take advantage of CDs along with already their own investments in the stock market. Now, of course, it's just like the stock market. If you don't need your money immediately, then you can lock it up, let it accumulate interest. And when you're ready to take it out, once you're ready to retire, you not only get what you put in, but you get all the extra stuff that was added on top of that over time. Which is why I would say it's definitely a lot better than a savings account. Now, there are multiple CDs that can fit anybody's needs. So definitely take advantage of any high rates that you come around when it comes to shopping for the best deals with financial institutions when it comes to CDs. Now, number 3 on this list, I would definitely have to say are government bond funds. Now, essentially, these are just mutual funds or ETFs. Now, these are debt securities that are issued by the US government. Now, government bonds, at least some of them, are very good for people who are interested in a lot low risk. Now, I also will say, for those that are beginners, this is also a good way to invest. If you're looking to invest as a beginner, or if you're looking for cash flow, definitely look into these government funds. Now, I will say, just like any type of other mutual fund, it is not backed by the government, and it is subject to risk of any type of inflation. Like, for example, if inflation rises, then the purchasing power can decline. If interest rates go up, then more than likely, the prices of existing bonds can easily drop. Now, as far as the liquidity, bond fund shares are very high liquid. The only thing is that their values often fluctuates, but it all depends on the interest rate of the environment. So now me, I personally don't indulge in government funds, but that's definitely something to look into if you're a beginning investor. Now, number 4 on this list are short corporate bond funds. Now, for those who don't understand how it works, corporations necessarily, they raise money by issuing bonds to investors. Now, short-term bonds have an average maturity of up to 1 to 5 years, which makes them less susceptible to an interest rate inflection. Now, if you're looking for cash flow, corporate short-term bond funds could be the way to go. I've heard of a lot of retirees taking advantage of this. Now, the only risk I see when it comes to these type of funds is that it's not FDIC insured. This investment grade, I would say, is more so short term. Now, there is a good reward when it comes to this, but there is, in fact, a much more greater risk. Companies can easily run into some financial trouble, therefore, a resultant default on the bonds. Now, in order to reduce that risk, I would highly suggest that you make sure your fund portfolio is made up of high quality brands. Now, of course, you can buy and sell your bonds at any point given any type of debt. And in some cases, you can reinvest with the dividend it pays you out. My only thing is say, keep in mind that capital losses are indeed possible when it comes to this. Now, number 5 on this list is my personal favorite, and that is the S&P 500. Now, this is what I personally use to achieve a better, higher financial gain. Now, for those who don't know what the S&P 500 is, it's essentially the largest 500 top traded companies in America. In the S&P 500, you have Apple, you have Tesla, you have Microsoft, you have Amazon, all the top 500 publicly traded companies for your heart's desire. You own a small share of every single one of them when you invest into the S&P 500. Now, the good thing about when it comes to this type of investment, the S&P 500 offers a wide range of diversification, and that is exactly what you need when it comes to an investment portfolio, diversification. Reason why I say that is because it allows you to own, like I said before, small pieces of companies. And it's not just one industry, it's every industry across the board. Now, over time, the S&P 500 has returned about 10% annually. Now, as far as I would say how this ranks with beginning investors, there's no better investment like the S&P 500. And the reason why I say that is because it provides a broad index, wide range of a diverse portfolio when it comes to investments. And the good thing about the S&P 500 is it's one of the less risky too. And the reason why I say that is because It's made up of the best top 500 companies. However, the S&P 500 is not insured by the government. So just like the market, you can lose money in this, and I personally have. But over time, the S&P 500 has been very, very good. The S&P 500 is also very liquid. And of course, just like a lot of the past that I've mentioned, as far as stocks and mutual funds are concerned, it can be traded at any given time. But definitely, the S&P 500 is something I truly recommend. I currently have some myself, and it's definitely a good investment, especially if you're a beginner. Now, number 6 on this list, I would definitely also say that I have as well, and that is dividend stocks. That's definitely something that you want to highly take advantage of, and that is considered a dividend. Now, for those who don't know what dividends are, it's essentially portions of any company's profit that you decide to invest in. And if you invest in it, you're considered a shareholder. So every time a company does well financially, you get a piece of that dividend. And normally they're paid out in a quarterly basis. Now, the good thing with dividend stocks is that you'll definitely have cash returned to you in the short term. You'll earn cash in the short term. Now, I would definitely say this is more so for people who have put their feet in the investment pool and know what they're doing. I would say more so intermediate and experts when it comes to investors. Now, I will say to reduce your risk, I would suggest that you buy a group of them in a stock fund. Now, I will say the dividend stock is considered safer than the growth stocks or the non-dividend stocks. But definitely choose carefully when it comes to dividend stocks and what you would prefer. Always make sure that you invest in companies with a solid dividend increase over the past years. You can always trade in at any given time during the week, anytime you want. This is definitely one of those long-term key type of investment portfolios that I personally would recommend. If you don't need the money now, definitely having a dividend stock and just leaving your money there, allowing it to pay you quarterly profits. Definitely invest in dividend stock funds. Not only that, but you can always reinvest your dividend stocks back into the stock market for even more stock. It could definitely give you the best type of return. Now, number 7 on this list, as I would definitely say, is rental housing. This is considered one of the best investments that you can make this year. You can easily buy and own your own properties. Ownership is very key. Now is the best time as ever because interest rates are at an all-time low. And I can predict that they can probably get even lower, especially here in California. The only thing that I would say can make it harder at this point in time is the shakeable economy currently right now. That's the only thing I can believe that'll make it too much harder to run it. And due to unemployment, it can easily default. Now, the key to this is selecting the right property. You can either finance it or just buy it outright. Then all you have to do is maintain it and deal with the tenants. Now, at that point, you'll be a landlord. And being a landlord, from what I understand, definitely comes with the headaches of it. Sometimes you'd have to go in at 3 in the morning, fix a pipe, fix a toilet. That's pretty much the only thing that I can think of that is no glamour when it comes to being a landlord and owning your own property. Sure, the money will be coming in, but you'll definitely have to deal with some headaches during this process, like fixing up an old place and putting more money into it than possibly what you purchased. But if you know what you're doing, you'll know that you'll get a much better return on that type of investment down the road. But the reason why I still recommend this is because having your own property is a very, very, very high cash flow market. And when it comes to rental properties, they essentially go up over time, especially if there's any type of new development going on. The property value will increase, not just to mention the money that you put into it, but if there's a new downtown area that's being built, your property values will go up simply from that. Now, I will say if you need cash in a hurry, probably being a rental owner probably won't be for you because you shouldn't be looking to take out money very quickly, especially when it comes to real estate investing. Now, sure, cash refinance is possible, but it's not necessarily something that you should be looking up into doing unless it makes sense. Now, if you sell, a broker can easily take up to 6% off the top as a commission. So definitely keep that in mind if you definitely want to go and pursue rental ownership when it comes to investing. So bottom line here, these are all the best investments that you can truly make this year. Investments, as I said before, it'll generate you more wealth and increase your wealth over time. And as you saw on this list, you have a wide range of options that you can choose from. You can choose whatever speed you choose to go on, whether it be a low risk, or even a high one. I guess it all depends on the type of cash you need based on your situation or the type of investment risk that you are looking to get into this type of investment market, depending on whichever one you decide to do. Sure, there are pros and cons to all these investments, but there's pros and cons to any and everything. You definitely have to take risks when it comes to investing, just in general. Now, sure, this can seem very daunting, but a lot of investors that I know, they manage it all their own. They know what's going in, what's coming out, what interest money is being accumulated, and so on and so forth. They're in complete control over their investments and assets. Now, a good thing with investing is that it's very easy and anybody can get started at any given time. Not only that, but investing is very affordable. There's no minimum or maximum amount that you can start off with. You just need to start. But all in all, it all depends on what you want. I truly believe that these are the best investments for your return, for your cash flow, for your future, and for most importantly, you guys to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. So with that being said, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I truly hope that you guys enjoyed this informative information when it comes to investing. If you guys have not done so already, please hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so that way YouTube always notifies you when I post up a new video. I post pretty much every single week. You guys can follow me on my social media handles in the description box below. Let's go ahead and talk in the comments. Let's get a conversation going. And if you guys have any questions, please do let me know in the comments. I'll try to answer them, even make a video about it. But with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.